theme around flight quality seems to be like almost like a global issue at the moment. So Eos, how are you this week?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Obviously exciting to have you in. We've got Sam still away for a couple of days, so yeah, I think she's having a good time in Singapore, hopefully. So yeah, it should be good. So Eos weekly news for real estate. What have we got as number one this week?
So number one this week is that realestate.co. They just introduced some new features. So the new feature is about that the users can use some minimize button to remove the properties from the result search. So by using that, a pop-up window will come to ask you why you want to remove that. So the reasons will include like value for money, like property size, location, condition, something like that.
That's quite cool, right? Like in they're sort of aiming to increase transparency and I guess reporting back to vendors about why people might have viewed the property but then not actually looked at it further. So I think that's quite a cool little feature.
Right.
Yeah. And then number two, so Property Council, they released their build to rent tracker. And so what this does is a bunch of different industry partners have worked together to coordinate information about build to rent products in New Zealand. This included Bayleys. And so across the partners, we've kind of identified about 1,300 build-to-rent homes in New Zealand. I think there's about 850 under construction, about further 3,400 on the way. So quite a cool little information system there. And a majority of those homes are in Auckland, which kind of makes sense. And so if you're watching from home or the office and you want to get more information on that, you can just hit the link in our description and you'll be able to go to that tracker. And then third up in the news this week, we had some stuff from the government around Kainga.
So the government has asked Kainga to end the sustaining tenant framework, which allows the tenants to stay despite of their like disrupting or threatening behaviors. So, but opposite opinions was like, what if there's some impact on the children in those households?
Yeah, so that's been an interesting one, right? Like, you can see why they're doing it. I guess there's some secondary impacts to make through. So yeah, quite a tricky subject. Yeah. And then so Eos, next up we've got our weekly sales snapshot. So this is powered by team at Bayleys Auction, sample of recent residential sales around New Zealand. So Eos, what have you got for number one?
So I got 45 Baildon Road, Lynn in Auckland. Elegant and elevated parkside beauty, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 400 square meters. On the market for the first time in 22 years, marketed by Christina Caesarius from Bayleys Ponsonby, sold under Hammer for 2.91 million.
And then next up for me, I'll go down to Queenstown. I've got 16 Crop Street in Hanley's Farm. Comfort, convenience and charm. This is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 400 square meters. This was completed in 2023. It's north facing in the desirable area of Hanley's Farm. Marketed by Kate Walker and Chris Campbell from Bayleys Queenstown. This one sold under the hammer for 1.355 million.
The next for me is 118 Wharf Road, Pigeon Bay in Canterbury. Pristine waterfront opportunity, 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom on 4,600 square meters, located on Banks Peninsula, just outside Christchurch. Waterfront property with panoramic views over the bay. Marketed by Chris Manjos from Bayleys Akaroa. So under the hammer at 1.025 million.
Yeah, so Eos, next up we go offshore, right? So Gold Partner Knight Frank, they released their latest Sydney office market update. Now this was pretty interesting. It reviewed office market conditions in Sydney, obviously. The themes there was flight to quality continues, kind of like what we see in most parts of New Zealand. They did, however, have a rise in vacancies, and something that's kind of interesting about their market is the premium space is in real high demand, but then the prime and secondary quality spaces kind of had similar levels of vacancy, whereas in, say, Auckland and Wellington, we see prime vacancy typically quite a bit lower than secondary. So there's just like an interesting little nuance in their market. But other than that, the theme around flight to quality seems to be like almost like a global issue at the moment. So it's pretty interesting. And then finally, to wrap up Eos, we've got the property of the week. So mate, what have you got for us this week?
So my property of the week is 510 and 550 Blackjack Road, Opito Bay in Coromandel Peninsula. Sweeping sea views and development potential, 104 hectare block located close to the beach. Opportunities for 11 lot subdivision, spectacular sea views. Contact Glenn Tanner or Carl Davis from Bayleys Country Team.
Yeah, cool. And then for me, I've got Manuka Point in Methven in Canterbury, the one and only extraordinary property made up of 1,271 hectares of freehold land, licensed to access a further 11,000 hectares, adventure paradise with access to heli skiing, jet boating, deer stalking, hiking, kind of whatever you need. Would be an awesome backdrop for a wellness retreat. And if you want to learn more about this one, contact Ben Turner or Craig Blackburn from Bayleys Christchurch. With that said, we'll wrap it up here. So thanks very much, Eos.
Thank you.
Yeah, sweet. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.